The name, Elliot Lamont Perry. The nickname, Socks. And I meant to bring a pair of socks, and I didn't bring them. Position, point guard. Height, 6 feet. Weight, 150 pounds, more or less. High school, Treadwell High in Memphis, Tennessee. College, University of Memphis Tigers, then known as Memphis State. NBA career, drafted in the second round in 1991 by the Los Angeles Clippers, and later played for NBA teams in Charlotte, Phoenix, Milwaukee, Orlando, and our own Memphis Grizzlies. Currently, the radio analyst for Grizzlies games, but I'm glad you didn't do it last night. During the 1994-95 season, as a teammate of Charles Barkley's, was voted runner-up as the most improved player in the NBA. But let's get beyond statistics. Our guest speaker tonight is a beloved son of Memphis. He is what makes this community great through his advocacy for education, his commitment to mentoring young people, his philanthropic endeavors, and his brilliant example of what it means to earn success through faith, devotion, and love. Elliot Perry once said that he learned 3 important traits from his grandfather: responsibility, hard work, and persistence. He is a recognized champion for education in Greater Memphis, and is someone who doesn't just talk about helping those who are less fortunate, he lives it. Our speaker counts it an honor to be part of something that affects change, because he is a change agent. He truly loves Memphis. Memphis loves him back, and I count it an honor to call him my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a star on the basketball court, but a superstar in public and community service, Mr. Elliot Perry.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity to be here. One, I also like to thank Elaine for giving me the opportunity to be here. I heard a lot about your ministry. I didn't know a lot about it before, but my hope is that I can support it in the future. Thank you, Otis, for the introduction. And thank all the organizations that have come alongside Her Faith Ministries and supported it. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Tonight I just wanted to challenge each one of you, and even myself, on the power that we have within. We think sometimes that poverty is only hunger, naked, and homelessness. But there's also another poverty of being unloved, unwanted, and uncared for. When those two things converge in a community, the effects are dangerous and discouraging. We all realize that there are a lot of things that happen around the world and even in our community that we have no control of. We have no control over earthquake, droughts, or even human and personal conflict that may surface in our community. But where there is hunger, where sickness exists, where those who are poorly educated live, and where homelessness exists, we do have control. The control to help. Now, we must not see this as a money issue where we throw money at the problem. For me, we must view this as a humanity problem, where the solution comes in the form of people. We all must find our niche and our place in this world where we can use our time, our talent, and our treasures to make a positive impact. But for me, I think the most important of these is time and service. You see, time is the most precious of all our possessions. And service is the most precious way we can spend our time. Now, if you are anything like most of us, including me, complacency, procrastination, and apathy has invited you to their table. And those things have persuaded you to feast on the thought that the little time you give won't make a difference. That your service is so small that it won't make a difference or even be a drop in the grand scheme of things. Well, the old saying goes, the greatest mistake is to do nothing, because you can only do a little. It also goes on to say that a lot of people don't do anything because they feel like they can't do everything. Let me pause here to tell a short story that may bring this even closer to home. The story goes that there was a massive storm on the coastline. And when the storm receded, there was a little boy who was walking on the beach and throwing starfish back into the ocean, one by one. A gentleman appeared and said, "Why are you throwing these starfish back in the ocean? There's thousands of them. The ones you're throwing back, it won't make a difference. It won't even make a dent in it." The little boy paused and said, "Tell that to the ones I'm throwing back. I bet it matters to them." You see, there should be a prevailing attitude among all of us that's not just grounded in God's grace, mercy, and humanity for us, but one that encompasses love, compassion, and service for our fellow man. Let us not just focus on changing the situations, but changing the person as well. Let us not just run interference, whereby it becomes a temporary fix, but let us intervene so that our love, compassion, and service finds a permanent place. You know, I recently, some time ago, saw a TV story about Memphis on WKNO, and some of you may have seen the show. And it was talking about the generosity of the citizens in Memphis. And they titled the show, "The City of Good Samaritans." Well, I've come to the conclusion that that might be true. But there is something else to the story. And I can firmly agree with Dr. King when he said, playing the Good Samaritan on life's roadside will only be an initial act. That we must come to see that the whole Jericho road must be transformed, so that men and women would not be constantly beaten and robbed as they make their journey on life's highway. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. And so, as I come to my conclusion, I would like to tell another story because I think it encompasses the challenge I want to leave you guys with. And the story goes that there was a wise man who, in his community, everybody knew he was a wise man. And so these two little boys had found this bird's nest. And they had gotten these two little birds out of the nest. And one of the boys saw the wise man, and so he walked up to him and said, "I think I'll try to fool him today." And so he grabbed the little chick and he put it behind his back, and he walked up to the wise man and he said, "I have a bird in my hand. Is it dead or is it alive?" Wise man looked at the little kid, and kid thought it was smart because he knew how he wanted the story to play out. If the wise man said the bird was alive, he would squeeze the little chicken till he died and then revealed it to the wise man and say, look, it's dead. But if the wise man said the chick was dead, he would merely reveal it to the wise man to show him it was alive. Wise man looked at him, smiled, and said, young man, the answer is in your hand. And that's what I want to leave you with, is the answer is in our hands. See, the service, the compassion for our fellow man, all of us have that. But the grace and the mercy God gives us every day, he doesn't ask for anything back. That service and that compassion is the rent we pay. And so I ask each one of you to remember that and to support the ministry that's doing the work, because it is deeply, deeply needed in our community. Thank you.
Well, I think we did a little better for Elliot Perry. Give it up one more time. Elliot Perry, service, compassion, grace, and mercy. Well said.